What is happening with the Zepbound shortage and the Wegovy shortage? Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've been on GLP-1 medication for almost 2 years now. I've lost over 100 pounds. Woo! Going from morbidly obese to now just overweight. And on today's episode, I've got a couple of two different camps here of GLP-1 medication. We've got our Mounjaro camp, our Zepbound camp, and then our Wegovy camp. Wegovy is a different manufacturer, Novo Nordisk, and Mounjaro and Zepbound are from Eli Lilly. And on today's episode, I'm going to link down below my source, which is the Reuters article from November 2024, where it's talking more in depth about this. And as a trusted news source, I always do want to cite my cite my sources. So that will be linked in the description link below. Just click the ... more button, and then you'll see all of my free Countess of Shopping resources, like a free Zepbound meal plan that's dietitian created, and a ton of free materials for you, including my encouragement group for people who are on GLP-1 weight loss journey. Let's dive in. Okay, so what's happening is in the landscape of GLP-1 medication, it's very confusing. And if you saw my previous video on whiplash of Zepbound shortage, that there's not a shortage, there is a shortage, there's not a shortage. Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Zepbound, got Zepbound taken off of the FDA shortage list, saying that there's not a shortage. And in that effort, it's setting the legal framework for them legally to start having compounds stop being made. Well, that decision has been paused until December. So we have a little bit longer for Tirzepatide compound. And so with that, people have been ordering if they've already been on compounds for Tirzepatide, people have been getting that. Will that be stopped in the future? I don't know. But Eli Lilly is trying to with the legal recourse that they're taking with Zepbound and Mounjaro. Same thing, two different FDA approvals on that. If you're like, what's Mounjaro and Zepbound? I've been on both, two different FDA classification or FDA approvals. So if you hear me on previous videos talking about Mounjaro, they're the same thing. It's a Tirzepatide, but different FDA approvals, and Zepbound was not in existence when I started 2 years ago, or with the FDA approvals, I should say. So with turning over to Semaglutide, which is Wegovy, the manufacturer is Novo Nordisk. What I am seeing happening, and this is Countess of Shopping opinion, this part is not my news source from Reuters, but what I'm seeing is people from Tirzepatide compounds are shifting over to Semaglutide compound. Because Semaglutide and Wegovy is still on the shortage list for chronic obesity management, as is Ozempic, which is for type 2 diabetics. Will that get taken off? And so that's one of the questions too of, is there a legal framework? Now, Novo Nordisk is a Danish company. They're not US based like Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly, obviously very lawsuit heavy, different than Novo Nordisk, but Novo Nordisk is entering the chat, friends. They're entering the lawsuit chat here, which is interesting. And so staying up on these that's why you want to click like and subscribe, because I am on it, even over things. This is why I look this way. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning last night with all my Thanksgiving and Black Friday stuff, and back at it here on YouTube because I want to give you guys this cutting information. So the exclusive is I'm seeing on the marketplace people going from Tirzepatide compound to Semaglutide compound. I work with Join Fridays, use the discount code QUEEN, but however, there's been a shifting in that marketplace from my eyeballs. I don't have any sort of concrete data to back that up. That's just what I'm personally seeing. But thousands turn to Wegovy copies, the semaglutide compound, each month as FDA considers the shortage status. So Patrick Wingrove wrote this Reuters article. And it's talking about how, do you want to guess how many prescriptions each month have for Wegovy? I was actually, I was way off. You said 200,000 prescriptions of Wegovy alternatives for semaglutide. So people on semaglutide compounds each month are filled in the US each month. The FDA is weighing whether to remove Wegovy from its shortage list, and Pharmacy Compounding Group has asked the FDA to consider its data when making the decision. So that's where this is interesting, is where, here's how I always talk about citing my sources, because there is so much misinformation these days on the internet. Super important of like, okay, what's the backup data? What's the source? Even I have pulled down my own videos because I'm like, I do not feel comfortable with, I want to make sure I'm giving you the most accurate information. And so, as always, if there's an update, I always give it here at Countess of Shopping. But more than 200 prescriptions of the semaglutide of Wegovy, that's the compounded version. If you hear me say semaglutide, that is the active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy. Sometimes people get that confused. It is confusing. And the active ingredient in Zepbound and Mounjaro is Tirzepatide. But the Tirzepatide compound is called Tirzepatide, and semaglutide compound, people just will say semaglutide. So confusing, But the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is weighing I am mispronouncing it, and one day I will get it, but today is not that day. With no sleep and coming off of a Thanksgiving hangover, so to speak, of food, the food hangover. I don't drink, so not a real hangover, but the FDA is weighing whether to remove it from the shortage list, and so this would then affect people are able to get the semaglutide compound and tirzepatide compound. The tirzepatide compound is now taken off the FDA shortage list, which is why there's the legal stuff happening. But for WEGOVY shortage, it's on the FDA shortage list. If it got taken off, that would then change the compounding. And so Americans, it's talking in this article from Reuters about people are turning to cheaper compounded options. WEGOVY has been shown to help patients lose as much as 15% of their weight on average. Once off the shortage list, Reuters said, the pharmacies could be forced to halt production, potentially pushing patients back to Novo Nordisk, which has so far this year nearly tripled in its weekly U.S. supply. Monthly U.S. prescriptions of Novo Nordisk WEGOVY are running about 4 times that of those of compounders, based on the member survey for which the Alliance of Compounding Pharmacies, which represents compounding pharmacies and technicians. The survey results and compounding industry's letter to the FDA have not previously reported. The group said that the count was likely conservative since not all members responded. So just FYI on that. Making sure we're getting accurate information. Novo Nordisk declined to comment on all this. It has previously said it wanted to ensure patients receive only FDA-approved, safe, and effective semaglutide products, and has applied the FDA to exempt the drug from U.S. regulation to allow it being compounded. So that's the legal framework. Is Novo Nordisk is taking a different framework than Eli Lilly. And then they're saying a completely different direction, but still trying to get the similar results of getting it off the FDA shortage list, is that these compounding facilities are there's different rules. I'm going to get into that. There's different rules in that. So the FDA said it's working to determine whether the demand or projected demand for semaglutide within U.S. exceeds the available supply. And while compounded drugs serve as an important medical need for certain patients, they also represent a risk because they're not approved by the agency. In one of the 2 letters to the FDA, the Alliance, and so the Alliance is the compounding one, said it hoped that data illustrated the demand for semaglutide and urged the FDA to consider the number of patients who would need to switch to branded versions when making determinations. So let's put on our critical thinking caps because we're smart here at Countess of Shopping. We wear cute outfits and we're smart too. We got both. We're a double fret and a triple fret because we got kind hearts as well. So, and we walk, so we're a quadruple fret, or we're walking, or whatever our abilities are to get our mobility in for body movement, which we're going to talk about at the end. Stay tuned. I got some body movement updates for you if you're on a weight loss journey. But going through, it's talking in here about the number of patients. Can we just picture with our critical thinking caps, 200,000 people each month are taking semaglutide compound. If that goes off, there is going to be a whole swing of where do those people go to get medications? Well, some will just stop because financially they can't afford WEGOVY. Or like, where will these people go? Like that is a very good question. 200,000 people. And they're saying in here also that that's the Alliance, the Compounding Alliance, was saying that it could be more than that. Not everybody answered the survey. So I think that that's interesting of where do these people go. And same thing with tirzepatide. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people collectively on tirzepatide and semaglutide. Where do they go? Where do they go? Like, where do they go? They cannot financially afford the other option. But the reason why there's that option, the less expensive option with compounding, is because of the FDA shortages. It goes on in here, the chief officer for Alliance, the compounding conglomerate, says there is all this demand that's not being considered by the FDA when it determines a shortage because none of these compounded prescriptions are reported anywhere. The survey asked 200 members to disclose their dispensing data to show the FDA how compounded versions of semaglutide are helping supply meet demand. Yeah, I'm an economist daughter, so I'm like 3 snaps in the Z formation about supply and demand. Of those surveyed, 28 compounding pharmacies and affiliated telehealth providers said they were dispensing anything between 200 to 42,000 prescriptions of compounded semaglutide a month, according to the letter seen by Reuters. Davis said she had seen several like that's crazy, by the way. Like these numbers are just blowing my mind. We are in an unprecedented time. Unprecedented time. Like this is, I didn't coin this. It was a GLP-1 dietitian said about we're the era of when like penicillin came to pass. Like this is phenomenal, these numbers. But substantially bigger than expected, that the compounded semaglutide market, but that new data suggests that there's a lot bigger than we even expected, as there are more than 28 compounding pharmacies in the US. The alliance, the group, has not previously given a market estimate, and Wall Street analysts have struggled to do so themselves because sales of compounded drugs are not tracked in traditional channels. Compounding pharmacies are mostly regulated by state pharmacy boards, though some have larger ones that are overseen by the FDA. In total, 28 pharmacies surveyed filled the 212,705 monthly prescriptions of the drug, although just 5 of those compounding pharmacies dispense more than 3/4 of those, according to letters that did not disclose the pharmacies' names, right? Novo Nordisk sold around 3.2 million combined prescriptions of Wegovy and Ozempic in the 4 weeks between September 27th through October 25th. 3.2 million combined prescriptions, so Wegovy and Ozempic together, according to data research of IQVIA shared by Wall Street analyst. Y'all, let me just pick my jaw up off the ground. So this is why out of that, so I'm trying to do the percentage of that, 3.2 million, and there's 200,000, but not everybody replied. So approximately out of that, if you're doing percentage, I'm trying to do percent. I'm trying to say it's like 10%, but that math is not mathing. So, but still, it gives a perspective of hundreds of thousands of people that this would affect with the FDA shortage and changes in that. The rival drug Eli Lilly in the GLP-1 class, Zepbound for weight loss, Mounjaro for diabetes, is also in short supply. They were removed from the shortage list in October by the FDA. The Outsourcing Facility Association, another compounding industry group. So this is a different compounding group. We're talking about Alliance, the Outsourcing Facility Association, OFA. They're suing the FDA. So this is two different companies. A few days later, claiming that the FDA removed Eli Lilly's drug from the list, even though it remains in short supply. This is why I'm saying when people are like, oh, there's not a shortage for Zepbound and Mounjaro anymore. Well, that's why these lawsuits are saying, yeah, yes, actually they are from those lawsuits. That group also sent a letter, the Outsourcing Facilities Association, to the FDA this month in November, saying outsourcing facilities are currently supplying 2 million American patients with semaglutide based on reports of marketed participants. 2 million American patients. It was saying they did not provide documentation about their methodology of that, though. Around 2.4 million prescriptions of Eli Lilly's Zepbound and Mounjaro, both known chemically as Tirzepatide, were sold in the same 4 weeks. Woo, child! That is like, let me do the math on that. 2, 3, it's like 6 million people just in the US. We're not even talking about, we got a lot of friends here in the UK. Hi, beautiful friends, and our Aussies. And people internationally, not even including our global friends. That's just US, 6 million in 4 weeks. Let me close my mouth. That's nuts. This is nuts, by the way. It's like we're in the unprecedented penicillin times. In its letters to the FDA, the Alliance also included screenshots of online order forms branded Wegovy and Ozempic to show several doses of the drugs were out of stock or low supply at large wholesalers like Cardinal Health and McKesson. That's McKesson. Wow. So this was reported by Patrick Wingrove. Thank you, Patrick, for your great article from Reuters. So going into talking about this is where I want us all to take a collective deep breath in and a collective deep breath out. I go back to the serenity prayer of things I can change and things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'm literally practicing this every single day of my life in recent weeks and will continue to do so. I think that's my lesson for 2024. I cannot change or control the FDA shortage list, pharmaceutical drug companies, or any of these things. The only things that I am in control of are really myself, my choices, my words, and my thoughts. Thoughts, words, deeds. And so regrouping back into that, if you feel somewhat anxiety or overwhelmed of this information, for me, it's actually kind of empowering to know that there's millions of other brothers and sisters, so to speak, GLP-1 folks out there like me. Like, that's so cool. That's very exciting. Come to the Countess of Shopping encouragement group. If you're fun though, if you're not fun, don't join. I have no time in my life for sticks in the mud, only fun people. And if for some reason you didn't get in with, I don't know, a couple of days, email me. My email's in the description link down below. Shoot me an email. That's my free gift to y'all. I do that encouragement group at least 15 hours a week, usually with my mouth guard in at nighttime after I put my son down or while I'm putting my son down for bed. I do that group so much for free because I love you guys. And iron sharpens iron, and we encourage each other, and cream rises to the top. And so it has helped me literally. I wouldn't have lost 100 pounds without that free group. And I've kept it free because I want it to be accessible to all. So put a pin in that. Someone was just dissing me the other day. Oh, Countess of Shopping is always schlepping products. Boo, did you notice my last name is Shopping? I do like to do so. We're going to talk about that later, though. So this article, what it means for us: 1, things we can control, things we can't, wisdom to know the difference. 2, with that, I can control, and I can control, what I'm putting in my mouth relatively with obesity management, right? Like, that whole thing is wonky to me, but reclaiming my power. I'm reclaiming my time, reclaiming my power of the food choices I'm making and how I'm moving my body. And so for me this week, we do weekly challenges in my free group. I will be moving my body in terms of weight training. I have got to. I've been walking a ton with our new dog, Wilma. If you haven't seen on Countess of Shopping Instagram, you need to click that follow button over there too. I've been showing her, she's the best. So I've been walking, but y'all, I need to be lifting for that muscle. I need to be building that muscle. I can see with my loose skin so much changes. And I know that weight training, I took a pause with my Pilates classes, getting back into that. So that I can control that. I can control making sure that's a priority each day. Where am I putting my priorities? What am I investing my time in? And that for me, that's why I love my daily Countess and Counts here. You guys watch the show daily because I know it is helping both of our brains to make new neurons, those new tree stem cells to make new brain waves and new habits because we're daily focusing in on it, myself included. And so I want to encourage you, and I want to know your accountability question. What are you doing this week? I always say, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? But what are you doing this week for your food choices and for your body movement? Because you have control over that. Do not let someone else take your power from you. You do have control over those things. For me, because if I'm going to say it, if I'm going to talk the talk, I best be walking the walk. So my walk I'm walking is, I'm getting my territory food delivery system that's coming later this week. And so you guys can use, they've been very generous to give the Countess of Shopping community the discount code. I think it's Queen25. I'll put it down below. There's a discount. Meals delivered to my house that are GLP-1. They're awesome. Fresh vegetables, proteins, high protein focused and vegetable focused. And they're individual servings, which are perfection for GLP-1 patients. I will link that down below. So those will cover my dinners, but until that delivery comes, I'm going to go on Tuesday is the Whole Foods grocery store. Their meals, their hot bar meals, which are like chicken, fish, turkey, lean proteins and tons of vegetables, and they're really good and it's inexpensive. A friend had recommended it to me. I did a whole video on it. It's like $4.50 a meal because for me, I eat half of the plate. $4.50 but it's only on Tuesdays, just FYI. And they do have more expensive ones, so I get and then I'll have to cook. I look like a hero to my family. But so for my protein, high protein, vegetables, that's what I'm doing. And I'm getting some of my third tip is my ground lean turkey or lean chicken, depending what my grocery store has. And I like to have those for my lunch, and I'll usually have those with some sort of vegetable. Typically, I'll put it in one of those 70-calorie wraps. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you're not excited about your food, you're doing it wrong. No, you're not doing anything wrong, but I want to encourage you, find stuff you really enjoy. I do have linked down below the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, and all of the holiday shopping leading up to I update that like every hour. Y'all know I've been covering Black Friday because I am the Countess of Shopping. I have been covering sale prices for the last decade. For Black Friday and Cyber Monday and the holidays. So that is updated continuously. I'll link that down below. That's not talking about Semaglutide or Tirzepatide, but I do want to make sure you guys also put on your radar now. We got through Thanksgiving. Woo! hallelujah. But getting through Christmas, or if you celebrate Hanukkah, Hanukkah starts, I believe Hanukkah starts the same day as Christmas on the December 25th. Hanukkah, Christmas, or whatever your belief system is, we are very inclusive here, whatever your belief system is, during the holidays this season and leading to New Year's, what can you control with your food choices and also with your medications, making sure you're getting, like, finding out from your doctor's office or your healthcare company or your pharmacy how you're getting your medications, factoring in shipping may take longer, offices may be closed, and so learning, okay, obviously, are they going to be closed on Christmas? Yeah. There's not shipments, I don't think, going out on those days. I don't think Amazon is even shipping on those days. So just keeping in mind, the point that I'm trying to say with that is your shipments may be delayed for your medication. Planning that, put that on your calendar right now to figure that out. Make a little to-do note or voice memo yourself if you're on the treadmill right now running while you're listening to me, which I know many of you are. Make a voice memo. Make sure you know when your dates for refills are. I'm doing that, which is why I'm mentioning it to you. I'm like, ooh, I need to be on that because I don't have the luxury, so to speak. If they're closed for new, like on December 31st and December 25th, I should probably figure that out now. So my sweet friends, I hope all of this helps you. And also, if you have not taken advantage of the Buy Optimizers, it's their stock up sale, 25% off site-wide. Do it now. You're going to kick yourself in the pants of like, oh man, I'm paying full price, or my discount's usually only 10%. It's 25%. So I've also been stocking up. It includes their protein powder, their collagen. They have the savory collagen. It's called Mushroom Breakthrough, but it doesn't taste like mushrooms. It's collagen in there. Their Sleep Breakthrough, their Magnesium Breakthrough, but it also comes in pill or powder format if you want to have liquid or in pill format. Like, it's site-wide. Prebiotics, I'll link that down below. Use the discount code QUEEN, QUEEN. So, and I'll link down below the Reuters article too. So I love you guys so super much. Sincerely, you guys, I talked about you so much over Thanksgiving. Hopefully your ears were burning. I'm so grateful for you guys. And I'm grateful for this next, we're gonna do basically a 3-week, 4-week sprint through December of managing this new lifestyle through the holiday season. If this is your first holiday, this is my second. Is it? Yeah, I started in January, so this is my second holiday on GLP-1 medication. Last year was amazing. This year I think it's going to be even better because I have new tools in my toolbox to be able to utilize. I did well over Thanksgiving. I ate my brains out. And I think I only gained 1 pound, which shocked me. And I'm sure I'll lose that like by tomorrow because it's probably salt and water weight and all that, yada, yada. So we're on a mission, friends. Smash that like and subscribe button. Share this video with your friend if you've got a friend on Semaglutide, Tirzepatide, WEGOVY, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, tomato. Accountability question, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Number 2, our emoji of the day is going to be a fish. Because we're little fishies, we're swimming to our goals. Just keep swimming. And the emoji of the day helps me to get to know you better because I care. It helps me see your name pop up over and over, and that's how I get to know you. Which, speaking of which, there's a new YouTube community tab I have on the back end. So I can say our community spotlight highlight of the most engaged viewers are Martha, Thelma, Cecilia, Dawn, and Violet. Thanks, friends. There's many more, and I hate that it needs to be like a list of 10. Because there's way more of you guys than that. I love you guys so super much. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Counting my blessings because life is delicious. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.